Hello everybody, welcome back to Sunday Berries. Today I am really excited because we're going to try out for the very first time Phoenix watercolor canvas. This is a professional canvas. It is 100% cotton. It has a medium texture which is similar to cold press or rough paper. It is acid free and it's gessoed for all types of water-based paints. So this is particularly good for watercolor. They have a special formula for watercolor and that's what we have here. And the medium that they are using with the canvas, it's supposed to be easy to correct mistakes, easily liftable. So I am really looking forward to this. And I do want to say thank you to Phoenix Arts Material for sending me this canvas to experiment with. So hopefully you'll join me. Let me show you what I have here for today's painting. I have the Phoenix watercolors that they also sent, Mediterranean sea salt, which is the bigger pebbles. I have alcohol, I have a pencil, an eraser, and I also have this straw, which is metal, and I will use it to blow some air into the canvas and paint. I have this pipette that I will be using for the alcohol, and I also brought these little sticks for some mark making. I also have paper towel for lifting and checking the erasability of the canvas. And I also have right here next to me my Kuretake metallic watercolors that I may or may not use, I'm not sure. But we're going to experiment today. So hopefully you'll stay with me and we're going to have some fun. For those of you who don't know, Phoenix Art Materials are responsible for almost over 70% of the canvases in the world. So that's pretty amazing. And this canvas, it's not only a great thing for watercolor artists, but also because once you create your painting, you can just go ahead and hang it. Just by touching it, I can feel the texture. It's textured and smooth at the same time, but it does have a really good texture. Canvas is really well stretched, as you can see. And so I'm ready if you are. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do, but that's okay. We're going to just go for the flow and relax while doing this. You can follow along on paper. However, if you can get your hands on this canvas, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun. One of the things that I like about having a canvas prepared for watercolor is the fact that canvases are a lot stronger than paper. So we'll see how much beating this can take as well. To start, I am going to take my pen. This is a Graph Gear 1000 by Pentel. And I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. I've just divided my canvas just as a suggestion, maybe, I'm not sure. Perhaps over here, we'll see. All right, so I've made myself some guidelines to start with. I will be starting with a Princeton size 12. The reason why I want to start with a large brush is because I want to be able to cover as much area as possible. I removed the colors from the case, as you can see, because I want to have enough space to be able to move everything around. And I'm also going to be making a lot of colors, so I'm going to need a lot more space to mix. I will spritz the canvas a little as well, and I am going to remove this just to the side, again for the same reason that I want to have enough space to work with. The color scheme that I'm planning to use is probably in the blues, perhaps some yellows. I really don't know, maybe greens. So as you can see, I am really diluting this color, and this one is the cerulean blue, because I really do want to start with something rather light. All right, we'll see. Here we go. Oh, it feels really nice. So this is a granulating color. So I'm really looking forward to see how it does with the granulation. And all I am doing is placing it in the canvas and simply allowing it to do its thing. I love how the texture so far. See this? Let's pick that up. And that did take it away. Wow, okay, that's nice. We'll check on something bigger later on if I make a big mess. All right, so I'm loving the way I can manipulate the color on the canvas. So far, and the texture that is creating, as you can see, wow, it's creating a beautiful granulation so far. So right now this is quite wet. And just by adding water, it will lift. Let's see if I lift this area right here. Oh my God. That works really well. I do want that area to have color, but it did lift really easily just by tapping your tissue paper. So let's see what happens if I use a little bit of alcohol. Now that is interesting, and I can work with that. I will probably want this one a little bit smaller. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre, and again I want to dilute that as much as possible. Okay, and now I think I want to use Payne's Gray. So I'm using a lot of water here. I am truly, truly amazed by this canvas. You can truly manipulate the color quite a bit here. I'm going to use it rather thickly over here as well, and just let it do what it needs to do. Of course, another thing that you can do is move it around. And allow it to move where it wants to go. Okay, so now it's time for a little magic. Let's see how that works out for us. And I think I will be adding a little bit more color there. And I am loving this Payne's gray. I am telling you, it's so rich and incredibly beautiful. So I don't really want it to touch right here. So we're going to lift that up. And as you can see, it just cleans off the canvas. It's incredible. And here we're going back to that cerulean blue, but I am going to mix it with French ultramarine. And I am going to pre-wet the surface. As you can see, there's no buckling of the paper or anything like that. You can use as much or as little water. This is really great. I might use a little bit of that cobalt turquoise as well. And just let them mingle there. I will be introducing a little bit of black. This one is also a granulating black. Should we leave that there? Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. This is Payne's gray. So I think I'd like to use a little bit more of the alcohol. perhaps all right, so I do not want that there. So what I want to do is lift, and as you can see, it lifts really perfectly. Wow. Okay, so now that we're here, we're going to allow this to dry before we continue on to the next part. I think that before I go, I want to address this because after all, I'm not liking it, but it could work. So let's see if we can just soften a little. And it's incredible. This really allows you enough time to fix anything. You say you're going to go away and then you stay. That's me. I can't be away from something too long. For some reason, I'm not gonna touch that part there. Okay, now for sure, I want to leave this alone to dry. Or not. I think we are going to, oh my God, you can really lift. You have plenty of time to lift things that you don't want. You really do. It's incredible. All right, so really now I'm going to allow this to dry and hopefully, wait. Okay, so now I am really going to allow it to dry, and I'm going to be very, very patient while this is drying because I think it's going to take a little while for it to fully dry. Let's see if I can get some of that over. Perfect. So we are going to allow this to really dry because I keep fussing over it and I just want to see what happens when it's really dry. I don't know how long it will take for it to dry, but I'll tell you. And so far, I can tell you that this has been so much fun because it is completely different. It's a different surface. I am enjoying the results that I am seeing so far, and I'm really excited about this. So we're going to allow it to dry and start looking into a second layer. We'll see how it goes. So I wanted to show you, it's still wet in some areas, but so far it's drying as it should. What you would expect in a paper. There is a shift in the color as usual with the any watercolor. It will dry at least 2 shades lighter, but here, even though it dries a little bit lighter, it still retains the color very, very well. So we used alcohol in some areas, so it will naturally push the pigment away. However, it has left some really nice marks here. And this one in particular, because it was a very light wash in that area, it pushed everything away, but I do like that the pure canvas is showing there. I don't know what it's going to happen here, but I'm going to allow it to dry. I love here. Let me show you. I love this area right here, the way the colors pushed into each other and then repelled. It's really, really nice, and love the fact that we got really interesting textures, which is what we look for with abstraction. So far, I am very impressed with this canvas, and I cannot wait to go over once it is fully dried. It's taking a little bit of time to dry, and I don't want to use any heating tool to dry it because I do want it to dry naturally, which is key for certain textures to really come out as they should. But so far, so good. Now here, I have a little bit of an edge that I don't want there, although I don't fully mind it. So what I'm going to do is try to lift that up and see how that works. Because it's been a while, and this area right here, it's very dry. So that worked very well. I was able to hide that harsh line that I got there. My first impression so far at this very moment is that I am very impressed, because this is almost like painting on paper, and the corners here are not hard, so you don't, when you're applying the color, you don't feel like you are going to have a strange mark from the frame. So far, as you can see, there's no marks whatsoever. I also love this section right here. There is a combination of that black with the blue, and there was a mix of cerulean blue and French ultramarine, which is great. Also here you can see speckles, and I think that's also, and you can see it here, I think that is also from the alcohol that I threw here and moved through the water as well. But in the areas that I did not use alcohol, look at the beautiful way that it came out, and the beautiful wash here where the color just moved through water and left this very normal marks or striations when watercolor moves through water. So these colors, I am very, very impressed. And also the canvas, and the canvas does feel like a cold press texture. It's impressive, and I am liking what I'm seeing. Hopefully you are liking it too, and hopefully we can take it even further. I'm really looking forward to seeing this all the way through to the end. Right here we have a little bit of that harsh edge, but Just by using your damp brush, you can just get rid of that hard edge. What I want to do is get that cerulean blue going again for this area, and also the yellow ochre. So we're going to start treating this with less water now. Well, maybe I will use water. I don't know yet. And getting those corners. And now I'm going to use a little bit of water so I don't have a really harsh line. And then we're going to maybe we should add a little bit more water here. We can actually mix these colors together right here. Loving the way the colors are mixing together, because it's a very gentle way to mix. Which is leading to some interesting forms. So we're going to see how this works. Maybe it's not going to work, we don't know yet, but we're going to give it a go just in case. And that worked fine. Let me try. Loving this so far. Oh my God. All right, so let's do a second layer here. Some of these are ready to go, and as you can see, it left a really beautiful mark. So I am going to try to take them out gently. Not here. I'm not sure if I can take those out yet. I feel right at home with this canvas, right at home. So what I'm going to do is just wet some areas right here, and as you can see, it lifts easily. So we'll see how this is going to go, because I want to use another color here, which is that cerulean blue we have going. And the reason why I want this cerulean blue is because of that beautiful granulation it does have. Now I didn't add water for this area right here, because I want to see how that works. Now I will add a little bit of water here. My cat is snoring next to me, I'm sorry. So I've decided to add a little extra to see what happens. All right. So now we are going to allow this to dry. I want to try to get this area as dark as possible. Whoops. See, when you get mistakes, this should correct it right away. So let's see. Oh, did I do that? I probably did, and I like it, so I'm leaving it. So what I'm doing here is basically adding a little bit more intense color. The feel of the brush is really great. All right, so I am going to allow this to dry once again, and we'll see So I am using an almost dry brush here. It's not completely dry. There's enough humidity to paint with it, but pretty much dry. All right, so I'm loving this canvas. I can't stop, but we have to stop. So we are going to continue, and we are going to perhaps use the metallic colors that I mentioned earlier. So these are by Kuretake. Let me start here. So what I want is really a small accent, but these colors are very opaque, so it will cover any imperfections here. We don't really want to cover the watercolor. What we want is to be able to cover some areas with a little hint of gold. I think that's looking good. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right, that is enough gold for me. Let me get now another mixed media tool that we're going to be using. I am going to be using an indigo or a dark indigo number 157, and this is Faber-Castell Polychromos. I want to know how it will take in this canvas as well, because as you know, when we are doing our works on watercolor, we also try to use other mediums, and it's working very, very well. I also want to try the Faber-Castell Polychromos, and this is cobalt turquoise. Since we were using cobalt blue over here, I thought it could be something to bring in that could work. This is the dark indigo again. I am going to be using gold, silver, and probably we won't be using silver, but at least gold and white. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the gold. And what I like about Posca is that you can get a little bit more precise. I think I did not record the mark making, unfortunately. So what I did was use, I don't know, I have to look at my video, but I use Sharpie for smaller spaces or small finer lines, and I use Posca pen as well, in white, in black, and gold. That's unfortunate if I didn't get it recorded, but it's basic. It was basic marks, just circles and lines. These lines were not done with Posca. It was this. I accentuated this area, this here, and some dots around. But overall, it's watercolor. I did use polychromos pencil right here and here just to try it out as well. And everything worked just beautifully. I only used the colors by Phoenix, as you can see, and they were absolutely amazing. I mean, the canvas is incredibly good. It was such a good experience to work with it. I have no words to express how fun this was and how great it was, because there's no warping. You can paint just as if you were painting with a paper, but you're able to correct your mistakes. You're able to, it feels just like paper. It just doesn't warp. The canvas itself, it's super tight, and that is also helpful. And from here you can just go ahead and hang it on the wall. I didn't finish the sides, and I will, but not for the camera, I guess. You can wax this or give it a little spray for protection, but even the colors look rather brilliant. I don't see why. I don't see myself adding anything else to it because the colors look really great. I've never painted in a canvas using watercolors, and the experience has been really good because the treatment that they give the canvas is almost, it feels almost like cold pressed paper. It's a little bit less rough than cold pressed paper, at least the ones that I use are a little bit more textured, but this texture is perfect. You can see how the granulating colors take to it perfectly fine, and that goes to show that the texture here is really good. So I did use alcohol and salt, Mediterranean sea salt, and I got this beautiful texture and here as well. That was about it. The alcohol are these areas where the color repelled because of the alcohol, and that gave me the white that I needed. And yeah, I mean, I'm super happy. I will probably use another one of the canvases that they sent because I had so much fun. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. It's incredible. The experience is just really good. It feels really good. Remember, you can erase your mistakes while they happen. Don't wait until it's absolutely dry. I'm so excited about it. I just can't think of anything bad to tell you about it because they are great. It will take a little bit longer to dry than paper. Perhaps it's my climate, but I think it has to do with the absorption of water. It takes a little bit longer to dry, so it does give you this window of opportunity to work with the colors and fix mistakes or continue working until you're satisfied. And that is a plus for me. I am really excited. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember that this is the Phoenix watercolor canvas, and I'm going to place it right here so you can see it. This is 100% cotton. It is medium texture. It is specially formulated acid-free gesso for all water-based paints. So you can use probably inks, you can use acrylics, wash, acrylic wash. It has a superb lifting ability for easy washes and corrections, and this is true. Once it's dry, it's a little bit harder, and that's good because also you don't want your paint lifting. Another thing is that wait until it's super dry to try to do a second coat on top of the one below, because maybe I didn't wait too long, but I was able to lift a little color from the canvas. An eye on that. The medium texture performs similar to a cold press or rough watercolor paper, which I mentioned before, and it is tightly stretched on pine wood frames for easy hanging and displaying. And I don't know if I showed you before, but as you can see, it is very well stretched out and it's very taut. And what I like the most, again, it's incredible that I was able to paint and I didn't have anything warping like when it happens with watercolor paper. Not that I mind watercolor paper. I love watercolor paper and how it behaves, everything, because it's paper and I love that. But to have an alternative such as this one, it's really great. And it's ready to hang. It's easier to frame. It has so many advantages that I can see from the outside in that I don't see why it would be any problem for anyone. I really did enjoy this. This is my honest review. I have nothing bad to say about this canvas because it's completely amazing. I never expected this. I never thought that I would enjoy it so much. I am really happy. Let me know in the comments what you think about it and how, if you like the painting or not. But let me know if you would use it, if you would try to use a watercolor canvas such as this one, because my experience was very thrilling. I had so much enjoyment doing this that I just didn't want to stop. Maybe I overdid it. But for the very first time, I was able to do things on this canvas that I have never been brave enough to do on paper. Everything that I did here, you can do on paper. But I was taking risks. I was doing things that I haven't done unless I'm doing my acrylics. And sure, I was very conscious of the fact that I'm working with watercolors instead of acrylics, but I really did enjoy myself on this little painting, and I hope that you did as well. So I'm going to send my thank yous to Phoenix Watercolors and Phoenix Art Materials for having sent me the watercolors and the canvas, because this has been absolutely amazing. And on that note, I want you to see just how beautiful the watercolors by Phoenix are. They are transparent, they are saturated, they are highly pigmented. They are absolutely beautiful. And if you haven't seen the swatch for these colors, I'm going to list it right here on the screen so you can go and check that out. So thank you so very much to Phoenix for having sent the watercolors and the canvas. I had so much fun trying this out. I hope you guys also try it out. Please check the description below for all links to Phoenix Art Materials. And with that said, let me know what you think. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and do leave me a comment. I want to hear what you think in terms of a watercolor canvas. This for me was completely new and eye-opening, so I want to know if you have tried it. My experience coming in was absolutely amazing, maybe because I wasn't prejudiced over doing it on a canvas, and actually I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys will want to try this as well. I can see myself using more canvases too, because I really did enjoy it. Before I go, I want to mention one last thing. I did use pencils. I used my Posca. I used opaque watercolor. It takes it really well. Everything that you throw at it, it's going to take it really well. And as you can see, canvas, it's incredible. In terms of that painting, let me know how you like it best. This way, this way, this way, or this way, or the way I painted it. So if this is one, think of this of 2, 3, and 4, and let me know in the comments below which one is the side that you prefer the most. So with that said, my friends, remember that all the links are going to be listed on the link below. This is not a promotion. This is just an invitation by Phoenix to try out their materials and their watercolors, and I have enjoyed it so very much. So this is my honest opinion. If you would like to try this watercolors or the canvases, the links are going to be in the description below. Before I go, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help me with the algorithm. Leave me a comment. Share it with your friends. I will really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because that way you will get notified every time I release a new video. And yeah, with that said, thank you for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another, and I will see you on the next video. Until then, bye.